Yeah?
I was initially going to get the fart book and fart into the microphone with the one fart that characterizes Chris farting. But I forgot the fart book, So after my last buddy's wedding, who gave the absolute worst friggin' speech I've ever seen, I had vowed never to give a speech like that. So I'm going to start this off. This speech is going to be about 80% humor, 20% sincerity. So I'm going to start off with giving Chris and Heather some advice on how to deal with their mother-in-laws. And then I'm going to go into some advice on Heather on how to deal with my brother, because he can be kind of frustrating at times. So let's talk a little bit about mother-in-laws. So we know that mother-in-laws, it's a very joyful, loving relationship, but we know at times you can butt heads with them, and it can be a little frustrating. So I live in Las Vegas, and although I don't gamble all the time, when I do, the game I like to play is blackjack. It's simple. Statistically, it's probably the best game you can play in the casino. Right. And one of the hands that you can get dealt in blackjack that is one of the most frustrating is getting dealt to 16. Because there's always temptation to hit it, because you kind of want to hit it, but statistically you know that the best move is to just stay. So in blackjack, that's what they call the mother-in-law hand. Because you want to hit it, but you can't, right? So anytime that you're not seeing eye to eye with your mother-in-laws, I just want you to think of getting dealt the 16 hand, as we know, is the mother-in-law hand, because I know you want to hit it, but you can't. So let's talk a little bit about my brother, Heather. So we know at times he can be frustrating, right? A little stubborn. And forgive me, Clarks, he gets that from you guys. That's it. It's not a Rogers trade. And you know that's right, Colin, right? So I'm going to tell a little story about how I dealt with my brother for a specific instance when I was younger, and I want you to use this as an example of how not to deal with him. So Chris and I used to take tennis lessons when we were younger. So it was pretty simple. Mom dropped us off at 5 p.m., 2 hours, we'd take the tennis lessons, and then we'd be on the curb, and she'd pick us back up. So there was one specific time where Mom came to pick us back up. Remember this time, Mom? There was one specific time where Mom came to pick us back up, and we weren't at the curb. What had happened was, I had become very frustrated with my brother. I can't remember specifically what it was, but I decided that how I was going to handle this is I was going to chase him down the street with my tennis racket and try to beat the living crap out of him. So anyone that's from Tampa, I chased him down Northdale Boulevard, and in all actuality, I think a cop pulled us over and said, "What the hell is going on here?" So anytime you become frustrated with my brother, I encourage you not to use any objects or pick them up or beat him with them. I think of the mother-in-law hand in that instance too, because I know you want to hit it, but you can't, okay? So the 20% sincerity here. So when Heather and Chris first started dating, I had just moved out to the West Coast. So the process of me kind of getting to know Heather and getting to know Heather and Chris as a couple is a little challenging for me, given the 2,500 miles between us. But so the ultimate way I judged whether they were right for each other was if my brother was happy. And I can honestly say it's the happiest I've ever seen my brother, and that's all because of you, Heather. So everyone raise their glasses. Aunt Marianne, raise your blue margaritas. Mom, raise your 8 wine. Let's give a toast to Chris and Heather. I wish you guys many, 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 many years of a good marriage and lifelong happiness.
Good job, man.
And just to clarify, in that fart book, Chris's farts are the seismic blast. Thank you for that. Thank you. So Heather,